Right, moving on. Now it's time for Driver of the Day and Championship Standing. So let's start with Driver of the Day. And I've just accidentally closed my tab, but I believe it was Daniel Ricciardo. The Honey Badger has returned. It was Daniel Ricciardo. Would you say it was deserved Driver of the Day, Alex?
It's one of those instances where it's a good popular vote. It's not just a sort of predictable popular vote. So very much understandable that he would be voted Driver of the Day. You're going with that as well. You're going with the popular vote.
I was torn between Daniel Ricciardo and Bottas, if I'm being honest. From P20 to P3 was a tremendous drive, and I know we don't always go for the driver of the most overtakes because that's not exactly really fair. But Bottas didn't put himself at the back of the grid. He had to take an engine penalty, so he made the best out of a situation which wasn't really his fault, and did a fantastic job. So, between those two drivers, it's a really difficult one. But I'm going to go with Daniel Ricciardo because he got Max straight off the line and led pretty much every single lap of this race, and just a flawless performance.
Yeah, this is really tough, even as a Team Papaya guy. Ricciardo, near flawless performance, took the lead, held on to it. Norris was also really hard to fault and was the ultimate wingman for Ricciardo. Did really well to hold off Hamilton. I am going to try and keep my claims of objectivity intact, though, and I'm going to go with Valtteri Bottas.
Okay, fair enough.
He went from the back of the grid to the podium with solid overtaking throughout as well. Clinical even. Didn't get in any trouble, didn't make any rash moves, all nice and tidy. Really reminded me of Abu Dhabi last year. Remember, he came from the back of the grid, he had a brand new engine. The DRS wasn't working until like lap 18 or something, and he was still making up a decent number of places. He can do it. He's, it's not just because he's got this alpha contract and he's feeling good. The guy is capable of it. He's just not capable of it with enough reliability to be on the level of someone like Hamilton or whatever. Maybe that'll change in the future. I don't know. But anyway, he had a fantastic race here is what matters. And last year at Monza, he had a terrible start, didn't he? And he seemed to get stuck. And this year, it was Hamilton who got stuck. Stuck under Verstappen, that is. And whilst Valtteri was the one who came through the field, right? So I think it's a thoroughly deserved podium, put in a performance that not only hit the kind of expectations that you'd have of a current Mercedes driver, but like you said, if Lewis had done that, we'd be saying that's why he's so highly regarded. So he was struggling a little bit later on behind Perez. The mediums were starting to wane, but a stellar performance. I wish we saw that Bottas more often, to be honest, because it really was a fantastic performance.
If we saw that Bottas more often, he might be in that Mercedes next year. He might have been in that Mercedes
world champion
next year.
if he could do that every week.
Exactly. He's been with the team for a couple of years now. It's a shame that these circumstances have happened, and all of a sudden Bottas is putting like you said, a clinical performance and something he really should be proud of.
Have you seen that statistic where it's about Hamilton's teammates? His first teammate he was with for 1 year, his next teammate was with for 2 years, next teammate for 3 years, then 4 years, and Bottas has been 5 years. Because it's Alonso for a year, Kovalainen for 2 years,
Jensen
for 3, Rosberg for 4, and Bottas for 5.
Russell for 6. Yeah. You heard it here first.